Hello traders, it's Samurai Trader here. This is video 2 of our recordings where we're talking about trading trend lines and using fractals in many cases to make our trading easier. As always, I need to, and I'm sorry if you've just come from one video to another, I need to mention the risk. There is of course risk, and this is required by the CFTC to put this risk disclaimer up. And if you're watching this for the first time, please subscribe to my YouTube channel, and you can find out more about my course. Please drop me an email at trader@imadaytrader, or go to my website, and you can also obtain my free ebook, The Truth About Day Trading, by going to my website and requesting it. Just you'll see the little box there when you go there. So let's go and have a look at another day's trading using trend lines. So this is once again the NQ, and the NQ is a great market for us to trade during the day in Australia. It's great after hours market, of course, over in the USA. If you're getting home in LA, markets closed at early afternoon, so you can trade this all afternoon and into the evening. Now this is a 55 tick, and the 55 tick is a great market to trade, except you've got quite low volume. And so if you're executing, as I do, 10 lots at a time, at times it may even take 5 minutes for you to be filled, and the market may move away in that meantime. And if you go to buy 10 at market, you get quite often 3 or 4 5 ticks slippage, so just got to be aware of that. So it's a thinly traded market after hours, but it's still a great market. But you can, what I show you here, of course, you can apply to the YM. I just find the YM very choppy in comparison to the NQ, and of course you've got much better volume on the ES. But anyway, let's just look at the NQ here. So getting back to trendline breaks here, this is the case. You can see the black dot fractal point down here. Now on this particular one, I didn't have another fractal point, so I've drawn it, and your entry would have been here. Now depends who you talk to. There are so many different ways in trading using trend lines. My way is not the only way. The way I do it, it's very rules based. However, I'll usually draw trend lines over longer trends. I don't usually draw them for shorter trading opportunities, because if you look at the T2s, your T1s, your T2s, your T10s, you're in a lot earlier than most of the trend line breaks, as I mentioned on video 1. So let's have a look at these. You can see a fractal point, see your black dot up here, black dot, draw a line from there to there, and your entry would have been in here on this candle. Now remembering that your moving averages, particularly your 34 and your 89, are going to offer very strong support resistance. So the comment I've got here, when CT trading, counter trend trading, the 34.89 EMA will act as support resistance. Be very much aware of that. When I'm counter trend trading, I really like to be well away from my moving averages. And let me just clear this here. So I really like to be well away to give it room to move, because the closer you are, like in this little trend line break here, there's your fractal, here's a fractal, so you can see you've drawn your trend line down here. It bounced off for 34. Now notice how often you come up either the 34, you got a 34 bounce here, you got an 89 bounce down here, you've got a 34 down here, you've got a 34, but then you continue. So just be aware of that. Now on video 1, I mentioned that when you're in a strong trend, you want to wait for at least your second trend line break, and even do a wave count. Now when I say wave count, you can see here our 89 is giving me what, is telling me what, we're in a definite downtrend, are we not? So here we've had 1 trade, 2, 3, so I've had 1, 2, 3 pullbacks to my 34, then it collapses, and the 4th one fails. Please be very aware of that. It's very important. Now yes, I know you can look at a chart at times and you might get 7 or 8 pullbacks and great trades. That does happen, but your very best is going to be in trade, or best return is trade 1, 2 or 3. Now for my regular students, you can see here we had a classic T89 set up. If I put the channels back on, you'd see we had a T89 that went up, bounced, and then it continued. Now on this T89 traders, our stop would have been 2 ticks below there, and away it went. Now let's move along a little here. Where are we here? And let's just have a look here. You can see here I've drawn a trend line from there. You can see the black dot to there, and the break was there, and of course it come down, and what did it do? It bounced off the 89, sorry, off the 34 I should say. So remember, when you're counter trend trading, as you can see it here, you come down, you virtually bounce off the longer term moving averages. Now please remember that the 34 or the 89, it's virtually a self-fulfilling prophecy, because you've got so many thousands of traders around the world use these moving averages for their trading. So many of them will use it. So the further away, that is for these counter trend trades, the further away from the 34 and 89, the better they are, as the 34 and 89 are magnets. Now another little qualification, we want to wait for our price to close under the 8 EMA, as we can see happen there, here. Okay, so you want to wait, or I recommend that you wait anyway. Here we had a T89. It wasn't a great return on that one. Now we have a look here. We've got a T-line break here with the trend, T-line break here with the trend. So you've got wave 1, 2, small wave, a bounce, and what happened a little bit further along here, then if I remember correctly, that was a pivot that we had up here. So let's have a look at our trend lines and what we may have done here. So you can see, let me just go back here, you've got a break there, and away it went. Now the challenge with this, traders, is of course you already had a T89. So I mentioned earlier that a lot of these you would have been in beforehand. So let's have a look at this one here. You can see here you had a break. You may have got in here with your stop 2 ticks above, up above this candle here, which you stayed in. Then away it goes again. Okay, wave 1 down, wave 2 down, wave 3, and of course here you had a nice double bottom, and look, you had perfect divergence here as well. Now that's almost a double top we can see here. So traders, hopefully these couple of videos have given you an idea of using trend lines. Now if you're bored, or if you find you've got idle time, start drawing in trend lines as you're waiting. As you know, with most of our trade setups, we're already in a lot of these trades. But for the gentleman that emailed me and says at times he gets bored and we get back to that thing about an idle mind is a devil's workshop, just remember, by drawing trend line, it can keep you busy. Drawing channels, it also allows you to draw in wedges, ascending triangles, etc. So hopefully this has been useful and given you some tips and ideas. Thank you, traders.